So welcome back. I'm sorry my video was interrupted by a call. So once again, welcome to today's program. I am sorry for what really happened before. The weather is fine today, so I decided to stroll because it's nice walking around and making videos. So the street is cool. At least the breeze is not all that cold. Sun is shining. But if you mistake it and put on something light, you will catch cold. So without wasting most of your time, let me show you around so that you see what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's my street. I think if I'm coming back, we'll walk down this area so that I will show you guys around this area too. Oh, the train is coming. The street train is passing. That's why this thing is. Look at it. I'm coming back, I will walk towards this area, but for now, let's walk towards this area. Look at what is going on. So we'll go this area. So let me turn the camera back. So guys, welcome to today's program once again. I would like us to discuss the issue going on in Ukraine and also discuss, let us just expand the Ukrainian issues and problems, what is really happening in those areas. So if you have anything to ask, you may leave it in the comment below. I'm seeing the comments. So, for those that are watching the program. So the question that everybody should be asking is, what is going on in Ukraine? Why Ukraine? Why must this war break out? What really happened? How and when did everything start? What is the dream of the people that are using Ukraine to agitate? What do they want to achieve? It's a question that everybody should be asking. And people should be asking, is Russia guilty? Should Russia be nailed in the so-called international community? Or what Russia is doing is what we call self-defense. All these things is something we have to look into. And the people that are propping Ukraine up, what do they want to achieve? All these things is something that we should be investigating. And when and how did all these things started? I hope my voice is coming out clear because I don't want to be shouting. So let me start far back. Most of you do remember whenever a British politician or British people or the Americans want to address the Germans, they always use the baptized name Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany. For those of you that are in Africa, do you know what is Nazi? Do you know what is Nazism? Most of you won't know what is Nazi. Most of you don't care. But if you recall, most of you do address to each other. Most of the people in Africa do hear them, hey, my nigga. They use the word, my nigga. Hey, my nigga. Hey, nigga. Do you know what is nigger? How come about that word, niggerism? Why should black people be called nigger? Is nigger a good thing? Among those people calling themselves my nigger in Africa, have you ever researched what is nigger? What did nigger stands for? How come about the word nigger? But it's a cool name that everybody in Africa that want to be cool call to each other without knowing the meaning of that word. So let me step back. If you want to know about nigger, ask me a question about that. I may elaborate a little, doing video about it and explaining on that niggerism. So as we are still talking, let me show you where I am. So this is the area, so I just want to show you. This is park. This park is made for dogs to go and shit if they are strolling. That is where if you go there, it's full of mess. So the problem in Ukraine is a project of Britain and America that didn't start today. The Ukrainian project that we are seeing today is something that started years back. The project that financial crisis helped to achieve. The British-American project, their dream is to destroy the Soviet Union. That dream has never disappeared. That dream has never died off since after the Second World War. United Kingdom has been dreaming to own the territory of Russia. That is that peninsula they call Crimea. Far back, history made us to understand that Britain, in conjunction with France, attacked Soviet Union, dreaming to seize Crimea and make it their territory. They used Turkey too to fight that war, which they fight, and they lose that war. Russia returned their territory. After that, they are still dreaming to possess that island that they started financing after First World War. Germans were suffering. The economy has been decimated. The people are suffering. Germans by then are using what we call the D-Mark. That was the Dutch currency, Dutch mark. Yeah. And the value of Dutch mark has collapsed. So, the British, by that time, the Belgian government, Belgium and France, after the First World War, they took over everything that belongs to Germany. I mean their resources, more especially coal. Coal plants that they used to heat their homes were seized by Belgian government. By that time, in winter, a lot of Germans do die in their homes due to cold. And French, they are packing other resources, moving everything to their territory. While Britain and America find a very powerful tool in Hitler. Behind the scene, they started working with Hitler, started financing Hitler. The project was activated. Other Europeans were busy clamoring for resources, while America and Britain were in covert operation to make sure that Hitler will grow and succeed, which they achieved. They financed every project of Hitler. Britain and America were financing, training, transferring technology to Hitler. If you can recall, by that time, all the whole American big companies, IBM, Ford, a lot of General Motors, and a lot of powerful tech companies in the United States and Britain established their industries in Germany, working in conjunction with Hitler, giving Hitler everything it needs to succeed. The question should be, why are they doing that? Why should they do such a thing? On whose interest? What do they want to achieve? Yeah. You know, if you know history sometimes is sweet. Some other times, the history is bitter. Because history makes you to understand the truth and the policies of various countries around the world. By that time, Europe was one of the strongest economy on planet. America was like today's China. Financially, they are capable. Technologically, they are still growing, while every other thing lies on Western Europe. But America want to take over the authority. America want to, because by that time, the British economy is going down. They are no longer capable like before. Hold on 1 minute. Let me pick up something. Hold on. Keep on watching. Let me show you around. So, I hope you're hearing me. My voice is still coming in. So what we are doing, they have a typical job. America wants to take over the land, while Britain still wants to secure territory and be fighting for their rights using the island. Today's Ukraine, at that time, Ireland is still under Ukrainian President keeps on saying that he must seize Crimea. So I am back. Along the line, the Americans start feeding Hitler. All the purpose of this Nazism was activated by these people, and their purpose is to achieve the collapse of Soviet Union. Because on their own, they can't fight Soviet. But they know that Germans, collectively, if they swallow the whole Europe, they will be able to form a formidable army that will attack Soviet and decimate Soviet. Is that not a wonderful idea? But today, you will see them addressing Nazi, German Nazi, telling the world that the German government is Nazi government. But it was them that created the Nazi government. You may ask, how did these things concern Ukraine of today? That is the same project. They have never ever given up. They fight, they lose, they go, they reinforce, and they come back again, believing that one day they will achieve their dreams. If you come to Europe, Ukraine, in a normal circumstance, is not a country. Ukraine became a country after the collapse of Soviet. Yes. And America and Britain has been mingling in today's Ukrainian affairs for centuries. The same dream that they are looking for. That island is what they want to take. So as Ukraine become a country, Russia was not all that powerful again. They were not in position to challenge the order of the West. They keep their head low, and the West floated Ukraine with various NGOs. To the extent they destroyed the curriculums of Ukraine, the school curriculums, and gave them a new one. They rewrote everything and gave Ukraine a new one. It's a very long story, but I will just touch some areas so that you will be able to figure out what is going on. So, as they are now cooking to take over Ukraine of today, in conjunction with the Baltic states, you may ask, why should Poland and other Baltic states support Britain and America to succeed in destroying today's Russia? Okay, let me state it out. America wants to control the resources of Russia. Britain wants to take Crimea, as they have been dreaming, with America together. Poland, that is helping to facilitate this project today, want to reinstate their former empire. Poland, Lithuania existed empire far back, not today. And that empire took over Ukraine, part of Belarus, and up to the Baltic states. America and Britain are believing that tomorrow, Germany may liberate itself from the Americans. So to counterbalance the Western or the American dream in Europe, they want Poland to take over Ukraine and some part of Belarus and Lithuania and re-establish their old empire that will be under the control of the American political system. Did you see how everything was divided? Let me show you where I am. Look around. There is no gallop, no potholes. That place is the new police academy. It's been built. I believe they are finished because it's like they have started. Students are now there. This is my city. This other side are going to become the next estate around this area. They are clearing everything. It's like the job is about to start. Now you have seen how the secret project is moving on. So, before 2014, Britain and America has been financing the neo-Nazi in Ukraine, training them, sending them to the United States, giving them lectures, and the neo-Nazis are being trained under the NATO training, military trainings all over Europe. They call them Ukrainian military. They are not Ukrainian military. That is, this neo-Nazi and Ukrainian army are being trained by NATO to be strong to achieve their dream. So as I'm mentioning NATO now, most of you that do see NATO as they call themselves, defensive alliance, go and check how was NATO established. Which people established the NATO, the today's NATO that you are seeing? You know, if you start digging and start finding out the truth, you will know why the Chinese and the Russians and other Western nations that understand the game are systematically distancing themselves from all this project of a thing, that so-called American project in Europe. If you go deep and research, you will now find out that NATO was created after Second World War. And as NATO was established after Second World War, which people established NATO? Who are the hierarchies of NATO that set out the laws and orders of today? That should be an exam that I'm giving to all of you, to go and search and come back to give me your response. You will notice that the so-called war criminals of neo-Nazi Germany, those that work with Hitler, are the ones that established today's NATO that you are hearing. The question you should ask yourself: why did America join the fight very late? Did they join the fight to destroy Nazism? Or did they join the fight to rescue the remnants of Hitler? Use what is happening today to be able to justify and also find out what is going on or what has been going on in international politics. By that time, there were no smartphone, there were no internet. So a lot of things lie secret. But internet has destroyed and revealed a lot of things. And the ChatGPT, this AI, artificial intelligence that is coming now, will reveal more. More will come to light. As I have found out that CIA and MI6 orchestrated the Biafran War to disrupt Nigeria from concentrating in communist Soviet Union, because they don't want Soviet Union to win in Nigeria. The project of that Biafran War was planned and established by MI5 and MI6, including CIA. Some things are revealing a lot of things that are not made for the public. That's why I am here to make the video, to tell you that this world we are living is a very complex area. If you want to join politics, you need to have access to sensitive information so that you don't make mistakes. Or even though you become the leader of Nigeria tomorrow, or any African leader, look for people like us that have access to lots of things that most Africans will be calling fake news. But it's not fake, it's reality. A lot of things has been going on. If you watch, for you to find out that what I'm telling you is the truth, to show you that I'm not lying, the same project that has been activated in Ukraine, what do you think that they are using to achieve their dream in Ukraine? Is it not the same Nazism? All the whole Baltic states has become full-time Nazi. But the only area they push Nazi to regain power into government is in Ukraine. Why? Because Ukraine possesses one of the strongest army after Turkey in Europe. They were trained. Their commandos and commanders are all Nazi. And Nazi ideology is driving all over Ukraine. Do you know that a lot of Orthodox churches, listen, let me tell you, the oldest religion, Orthodox is one of the oldest Christianity religion on planet. Not Roman Catholic, not Apostolic, not all these churches you are seeing in Africa. One of the oldest religion is Orthodox. Do you know how many Orthodox churches that Ukrainians has burned down? How many Orthodox priests are now in prison? What is going on? Operation. You know, this video that I'm making, I don't know whether it will be censored, whether they will, because there are some things that the white people normally says, even though a black man find out the truth about these people, if you want to sell that to the people will kill him, they will never buy it from him. As all of you are busy today celebrating Easter, what a wonderful religion. How many of you have dig deep to ask, why is it that in Easter, the Europeans, more especially in Europe, they use rabbit and egg to celebrate Easter? But in Africa, they say that it's Lent, end of Lent, and blah, blah, blah. They lie to you. While in reality, if you put two rabbits together before 1 year, how many children will they produce? And the egg represents children, fatality. And what are they celebrating in Easter that they brought to Africa that you embrace so dear? Their reverend fathers don't even know the meaning of Easter. That is the God, the horse God. That Easter is made. The symbol of that rabbit is mass production of children that will be used after 9 months of birth to sacrifice to the horse god that was so-called born on 25th December. But they tell you that Jesus was born on 25th December. I'm a black man telling you this, you won't believe it. You will never believe it. But I'm telling you the truth that the religion of the white is full of satanism. That the true religion is the religion of your ancestors. Their forefathers are the real religion. Everything of the white is evil. Evil, I'm telling you. So, let me go back to the Ukraine. In Ukraine, Christianity is under attack. Chinese television, African media won't show you all these things. They won't show you how the Christianity is being destroyed in Ukraine. What is in the making? What is in the making? They are feeding Ukraine so that Ukraine will grow large to consume Russia, so that America will take over the resources of Russia, America will take over the island, Poland will take over Ukraine and Belarus and other parts and set up their former empire to counterbalance Germany and France. That is the plans. But they miscalculated everything, not knowing that Russia is following everything step by step. What Russia did in Ukraine is what they call torpedoing a plan. Russia destroy everything prematurely. Ukraine has never set the way the West wanted to set to be able to attack Russia. Yes. Yes. So, if you see all these plans and forces clamoring to swallow the little ants like countries, that's why I support United Nigeria. Upon that, yeah, the same Britain and America that sowed the division and caused the civil war in Nigeria are very busy dividing Nigerians. Whenever their enemy, the enemy of the West in Nigeria is the Igbos. That's why I tell you, all the whole Western NGOs, all of them, go and ask the federal government of Nigeria, how many Western NGOs are operating in Nigeria? They will tell you. And you will look around and read their motto. Why should these NGOs operating in Nigeria? They are there to promote democracy. They are there to alleviate Africans from poverty. They are there to help the poor Africans to have access to whatsoever. Then all the whole thing they stated, look around you if you are benefiting any of them. There you will ask yourself, what is their real mission in Nigeria? They are on a mission. You may ask, why Nigeria? I normally tell you people that no matter how a country is formed, you can never establish a country to function like Nigeria. You can create Nigeria, a country like Nigeria, but they will never function like Nigeria. They will never have the potential that Nigeria possesses. No matter how you sponsor it, you lecture it, you push for it, it will never happen. Nigeria is a sleeping empire that has never found itself. And all these NGOs are making sure that Nigeria will never ever find itself. That's why, as election is coming, the same thing they did in Liberia. Charles Taylor was an American prison due to drug problem and whatever. All of a sudden, he appeared in Liberia. Before you know it, he became the leader of Liberia. To achieve, to make everything, to succeed, make the plans of the West. And whenever they use you, after using you, they dump you or they destroy you. Tinubu has all sorts of cases in America. Drug, money laundering. All of them are large. How many years today? How did Tinubu escape back to Nigeria? How managed that Tinubu came into Nigeria, all of a sudden he became the governor of the largest state? He's not from Lagos State. He is not from Lagos State. His identity is fake. Even the name he's bearing belongs to Lagosian old empire. But he's not from Lagos. Was he adopted child? No. Who could manage and make Tinubu the empire in Lagos State? Who set him up? Who make him to succeed? How did we find ourselves in Tinubuism, in Tinubu-Tinubuism in Nigeria? That is an agenda. That is an agenda. Destabilization, disruption of democracy. Tinubu came to Lagos, he never brought anything good to Lagos State. Most of the people, or the younger people today, don't even remember that Lagos State was once the federal capital of Nigeria. All the whole infrastructures you see in Lagos belong to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. None of them belong to Lagos State as a state. That is a property that the Imo State has right to all this property in Lagos because it belongs to the federal government of Nigeria. But systematically, the Lagos State is taking over everything. And who is taking over? Tinubu is taking over systematically the property of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And people thought that Tinubu did not establish anything in Lagos State. Rather, he swallowed a lot of things. Ask yourself, for what? Do you know why you should not condone all sorts of this type of thing? Why seeing it growing gradually? Because tomorrow, with what the wealth that Tinubu possesses today, how many of Nigerians are in position to challenge him? There is a project. Project keeping Nigerians busy. Imagine the normal political process that Nigeria has been establishing. All of a sudden, something came in and started disrupting everything, putting commotion. Yorubas are also agitating to pull out of Nigeria. Not longer the Igbos alone. In the north, terrorism. Am I talking about the herdsmen, or should I make mention of the Boko Harams? But one of the founders of Boko Haram is in the government of Tinubu, becoming the vice president of the federation. In all this campaign and everything, nobody used such a thing to challenge the order of the day where Tinubu is and the government of APC. But whenever that people that are being targeted, the Igbos, take a step, you will hear IPOB, you will hear agitation, you will hear the dominance of the Igbos, you will hear that Igbos want to take over Nigeria, you will hear that Igbos want to divide Nigeria, you will hear all sorts of stories. Which people are making those things up? Which people are depriving the young youths of Nigeria their right and their vote? Project. Because if Peter Obi become the president of Nigeria, with the help of Russia and China, things may get out of control that the West will lose Nigeria. You may ask yourself, why do the West hate Russia so much? Let me give you a small example. You remember the slave trade that they are trading Africans as goods all over the Western countries. Do you know the people that pressurize, that push for slave trade to be abolished? History will not tell you this. Americans are always the rescue of the planet, but the people that destroyed it was Russia. And which people owns the business? Is the Western people. Or should I go to colonialism? Which country has been colonizing all the whole part of the world, turning them to enclaves, slaves, and everything? It's the same West. Who destroyed colonialism? The same Russia. And who owned the business of colonialism? The West. And who is losing as everything collapses? The West. And who is to be blamed? Russia. Now you see why, you see the reason why Russia should be destroyed. Now you see the reason why Russia should not exist as a country. Now you see the threat that Russia has been posing. And those threats that Russia has been posing is for the freedom of mankind. Ask yourself, how can a country that finds itself in Western world is behaving differently? It's not behaving like the West. Russia is not clamoring to own a country in Africa, own territory, own people, because of their belief, because of their religion. Russians are Orthodox, the strongest and the most powerful and the oldest religion on planet. It's Orthodox. Those religions show Russia that they must not follow the path of the devil, of the Roman Catholic. How was Roman Catholic established itself? from colonialism, conquering territories, slavery. Yes, that's how they set up Roman Catholic. All of you are praying for Jesus that will never come back again. Jesus is dead and gone and will never come back. And God don't die. In Africa today, they are praying to Jesus more than to God himself. God is disappearing in the religion of Africa. Jesus is winning momentum. Who is Jesus? Jesus is like Nnamdi Kanu. He was once agitating for the Roman Empire to pull out of their territory. And he was killed because of the agitation. Leave the beautiful side of the story that was written to you. If you want to find out the truth, Adam and Eve is the first human being created on planet. And Adam and Eve have 2 children, Cain and Abel, says the Holy Bible, written by the West. And Cain killed Abel. And God sentenced Abel and sent him out of the Garden of Eden. Yes. And the same Bible that says that their parents are the only people on planet also said that as he was wandering in forest, he found a wife. And the parents of the wife is created by who? How come? You see, are they telling you the truth? Are they telling you the truth? You are not made to question such things. What is religion? All these questions, nobody cares to know about it. So now you have found out who is lying and who is telling you the truth. In the public, they are worshiping white Jesus, while in hiding, they are praying to black Jesus and black Virgin Mary. So, a liar will always be lying until the truth is made public. A lot of things that were created for you were not made for your own interests. Everything is project. Everything has a reason. That's why you have to dig to find out the truth behind a lot of things. So, if they are telling you that Russia is devil, that Russia is evil, sit down and look around all the things that West have been telling you. Saddam Hussein possessed a nuclear bomb, chemical weapon to wipe the planet. It's a danger to America. They went to Iraq to kill Saddam and find the chemical weapon. All of a sudden, Saddam Hussein was killed, and what they found in the country is a container full of gold that gets leg and ran away from Iraq to somewhere else that nobody knows. Yes, Gaddafi is killing his people. They need to send no-fly zone. And Jacques Chirac, French president, that was standing in Libya and shouting, "Vivre Libye, vivre, blah, blah, blah." All the wealth of Libya have disappeared. Their gold have disappeared. Their country destroyed, becoming failed state. The same people that are bringing religion to you. You see how they play? If you see 2 police officers, one will be polite and one will be aggressive. That has been their way. So use your tongue and count your teeth. Yeah. So I have jumped from area to area. If you have question or anything, leave it in comment below, and I will treat those issues. Thank you very much, and bye-bye for now.